want to go into Ubisoft. You like Ubisoft?
I thought I had put this in the who's.
You might have, and maybe I just
Ubisoft is we may have to be talking about Ubisoft in the past tense.
Ubisoft mentorship program developed at Ubisoft discriminates against males based on their sex. I thought this was because they're inherently evil and we don't want them hired. An Ubisoft mentorship program titled "Develop at Ubisoft" appears to discriminate based on one's sex. On the official website, the developer says, "At Ubisoft, we want to build the most creative, diverse, and inclusive teams, and that's exactly what development at Ubisoft is all about: empowering and supporting underrepresented genders." Then it clearly states the program provides mentorship opportunities for women and non-binary individuals, students or fresh graduates with less than 2 years of experience interested in video games, develop their skill set in game design and programming. We want to empower you to learn, grow, and become the very best developer you can be. The program is open to candidates from the United States of America, which one would assume it has to follow U.S. law, which prohibits discrimination based on sex, something Ubisoft is clearly doing with this mentorship program. So, yeah.
See, but what everyone forgets, you can believe that you're.
What's an underrepresented genders plural?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. After 1972, the Equal Employment Opportunity Act made it illegal to show preference for any race, gender, belief system, anything. See, therein lies the problem. I don't care what you believe, how good you think you're being, what being on the right side of history. Sorry. EEOC Act of 1972. You will get sued into oblivion. Congratulations. This can end your business.
Well, Darkwoods, from the sound of it, it's like no men of any race are welcome here. That's what it's sounding
like. Exactly.
They're trying to find new frontiers of,
Well, no. It's not all men, right? If you're gay or non-binary or you're transifying yourself.
No, I think if you're a man that identifies as a different gender, then you're okay. That's what it sounded like.
Exactly.
Not even if you're a gay man, I guess. I don't know. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's move on because I didn't want to spend because we just have an Ubisoft smorgasbord here. That's okay. We get this lovely video game character to look at again.
Yeah.
This next article.
Because I think I know why they keep using the same picture over and over again. They're kind of reminding you this is
not a game I want to play.
Yeah.
Inclusion does not mean straight white. Yeah, usually it doesn't, Darkwood. You're right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ubisoft stock price dropped 7% as company faces pressure from investors to take company private. Ubisoft, the company behind Star Wars Outlaws, X-Defiant, Assassin's Creed, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, saw its stock price drop 7% in a single day as it faces pressure from investors to take the company private, as well as reports of soft sales for Star Wars Outlaws. They're fending off this stuff now.
There's actually a number of articles that we didn't pull in because this was more general, but there's a lot of articles putting a very fine point on it that Star Wars Outlaw has done so bad that it alone may destroy Ubisoft.
They have Assassin's Creed Shadows still coming out. That one sounds more controversial.
Yeah,
as far as the hate goes, I think that one's going to do
worse. That's just great. I mean, that's just a final nail in the coffin. Then,
specifically, it fell over 7% in the past day, according to Yahoo Finance. The stock price has declined over 16% in the past 5 days. It's down over 41% in the last 3 months, and nearly 30% in the last 6 months. In the last year, the company's stock price is down over 50%. In the last 5 years, it has declined over 81%. That's bad, right? That sounds. The most recent stock drop in the wake of Star Wars Outlaws reportedly having soft sales, as well as Slovakian investment from AJ Investments urging the company to go private. Later goes on to say, on top of it looks like poor sales, AJ Investments sent an open letter to the board of directors of Ubisoft urging the company to go private or sell to a strategic investor. In the letter, the investment firm specifically took issues with Ubisoft's lowering of its revenue outlook for the second quarter when Star Wars Outlaws released. The firm wrote, the recent quarterly results, which include the postponement of key games like Rainbow Six Siege and The Division into 2025 lineup and a lowered revenue outlook for the quarter to 2024, have heightened our concerns about the management's ability to deliver value to shareholders over the long term. Share prices of Ubisoft have decreased more than 40% over the last year compared to rise of its competitors and indexes. I want you to think about something else with these Ubisoft games we're talking about. Rainbow Six, that's Tom Clancy. They don't own that. They own the rights to use Tom Clancy's material, but they have to pay for those rights.
Yep.
They have to pay for the rights to make the Star Wars game. Anyway, it goes on to say, in order to improve Ubisoft, the firm suggests the company be taken private by the Guillemot family and Tencent in order to allow the company to address its issues away from the public market pressures and make necessary changes without harming minority shareholders, retail investors, and pension funds that are victim of these efficiency problems and mismanagement by current leadership. They have a lot of
mismanagement. That is a great way to put it. And speaking of great way to put it, Matt Inouye, I love the way you put this. Star Wars Outlaws looks straight mediocre. Yes. And that's just how it looks. But then when you get down to Darkwoods Presents comment, when you talk about the actual play, I watched Star Wars Outlaws live playthrough, and there are so many bugs, like 50 hours of restarted games. Yeah, I've heard a number of people say that there were key points in the game that are so broke you just can't advance. You cannot play the game.
Well, listen, here's what you do. Wait for the patches to come out and the bug fixes to come out, and then buy the game, and it'll be half off.
Well, I'll tell you, something else. Why anyone is paying for pre-orders on these games, you're a fool at this point if you're still doing that. If you are pre-ordering this stuff and getting the game and then not able to play it, that's because you're a dumbass.
Well, here's what I'll say about pre-orders. Some companies you can trust pre-orders on, like Nintendo. They usually deliver with their games. I mean, I don't always pre-order stuff, but I'm usually confident that I can play the game at launch and there are not going to be any problems. A lot of Japanese companies are like this. Like, I think Capcom's usually pretty good, but it's just increasingly, though, I think they got too used to doing patching. When they started having internet-enabled consoles, they got used to having patches.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point where now games are released unfinished, and then they get patched day one. Like, I bought...
Fix it in post.
I bought the Spyro collection for the, I guess for the PlayStation, right? They did an HD remaster of the Spyro games, Activision did. And it had a huge download the first day, which means that the game is not on the disc. Part of the game is on the disc, and the rest I'm downloading on a day one patch. Do you understand? So it's ridiculous. But and then we're going to do the last one, I think. But yeah, they don't want actually to anything left to say about this. They urge that Ubisoft sell off a number of its studios. Ubisoft considers selling its studios that possess talent but are focused on non-core games, thereby allowing Ubisoft to streamline operations and focus on main IPs. I think Ubisoft employs 17,000 people. That's what I heard. That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Again, I do see them as a French-Canadian developer or French developer, but yeah, they're in trouble right now.